good, guys? It's 6 in the morning. It's negative 20 degrees outside, and I didn't sleep all night.
Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back. As I mentioned last week, I wanted to get down to working on some new music for the game this week, but I didn't do that. Well, I did kind of do it, though. Just hold on. Don't click away from the video just yet, okay? But first, what I ended up doing was, as I was playing through the game, as you're developing a game and you play through it a lot, you realize there's all these like little tiny details you forgot to do, whatever, right? So I was adding up a bunch of quality of life type of stuff like that. For example, when the game first opens up, letting you know that the game saves automatically, things like that. Secondly, as I was playing through the game, I realized the stun bomb item wasn't very good. I hardly ever used it, and I found that playing with the shurikens was a lot more simple and straightforward, but part of the point behind the stun bomb item is that if you kind of suck at the game, you can use it to significantly make a fight easier for yourself, but it didn't really do that before because the radius on it was so fucking weak. So I significantly increased both the radius and the duration of the stun bomb, and now it is very effective. Finally, before getting into the music production, I was looking over the game's narrative script, all the dialogue that I had written, and I still wasn't quite 100% happy with it, and I needed to get it there. So I went through every line in the script, touched it all up, made it as perfect as possible, and now I am extremely happy with it. I think the way I've written all the dialogue is truly excellent, and I can't wait for you guys to experience it all. And now that the script is 100% ready, I am ready to start working with the one, the only, David Cook, who's going to be playing the voice role of Jones. So I'm going to get in touch with him this week so that we can work on the voiceovers while I work on the music at the same time, and we can save some time that way. Okay, so now I was finally ready to get into making the music, but not exactly, because way back when I made the first song for the game, I did it on one computer. Then when I made the second song, I had to do it on my laptop because my first computer broke down, and now making this third song, I'm doing it on yet a new computer. And this is all a huge pain in the ass because every time I switch computers, I need to reset up my whole music production studio stuff. So I have to go into FL Studio, download every single plugin that I use. I have a whole bunch of different effects I use. I gotta download all the licenses for them, update everything, not to mention transfer all the project files and samples and songs and everything I was using and hook up all the directories and everything. So it's a huge pain in the ass. It took me a while to get that all set up. And then before actually moving on with producing the new song, I decided I should do the full implementation of the music system in the game first, so everything is just set up and good to go, and I can plug and play as I produce the music. Got the volume sliders set up and everything is working perfectly now. Okay, so now I can start working on the actual music. So I did get one thing done this week. Each level is going to have its own song, and when you first load into the level, it'll play a slowed down, bare bones modified version of that song. And then once you bust through the door and actually start playing, it goes into the main version of the song that's more like upbeat and intense. And then when you finish the level, it reverts back to the original slowed down version. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. This is my current implementation using the first gameplay song that I produced. Take a listen. Personally, I would describe that as dope as fuck, but you may use whatever adjectives you prefer. And you know, when you've been working so many hours every single day on a project for so damn long, you start to lose vision of, is this actually good or not? Because you just see it every day, day in, day out, the same shit over and over again. Occasionally you get a momentary glimpse of what it's like to see it impartially, and you're like, oh yeah, this is fucking good. I'm so happy with this, I'm so excited. But then you just go right back into that routine and you're just like, I can't tell. Is this good? I think it's good, but I can't really tell. So it's nice once in a while when you get a compliment from someone else, an outsider. So here's my boy Lorenzo, a sound designer who I hired to do the sound effects for the game. He's getting back into it to add all the remaining sound effects that we're going to need for the demo. So here he is messaging me saying, hey man, I played the game and started working on a few sounds, taking notes, etc. First of all, it was quite a bit that I haven't played the game, and big congrats. It's all coming out so nicely and well done. So there you go, a second person saying the game is mega sick, and you don't have to just take my word for it. And lastly, on the art side, I got Amanda to start working on the final boss, the samurai boss for Act 3. Here is some rough artwork of her as we figure out her design, and I'll have more on her for you guys next week. And also, this time I 100% promise I will have a new song ready for next weekend. Now, this week's topic of discussion is about how you don't need to personally care about every single bad thing happening in the world. Nowadays, it seems like everyone is always expecting you to personally care about everything. Ukraine or Russia? Israel or Palestine? Trump or not Trump? You know climate change is happening and the earth is burning, right? Did you hear about all the planes crashing all around the world? What about the drones in New Jersey? Bacteria and viruses are getting stronger. Antibiotics are getting weaker. Sperm counts are dropping. 100,000 years ago, as our ancestors roamed the earth, they did not know fuck all about what was happening all around the world. We did not evolve to know about every single bad thing happening everywhere at the same time 24 hours a fucking day. You know what life used to be like? You have your little tribe, maybe like every 10 years little Johnny dies of a disease, you all cry it out, you move on, and then nothing else happens again for another 20 years. And in between that, day to day, basically nothing ever happens. We evolved under conditions where most of the time, nothing is happening. So no wonder my generation and everyone who's younger as well is so riddled with anxiety all the time. Worrying about climate change, wars, and all this kind of shit, being bombarded 24/7 with bad news about everything no matter where you go. And on top of that, you're expected to care about everything. People come up to you, you're not participating in this boycott, you're not coming to the protest. It is literally not possible to care about everything that's happening all the fucking time. You need to live your life by picking a few things you personally care about, and you can care about those things, right? Like, maybe you know someone who died of cancer, so you do stuff for raising money for cancer research. That's good, but you can't care about every single war happening on Earth all the time, every person who's suffering, every single thing that's happening, because it's, first of all, psychologically impossible, and second of all, if you try to do it, you're gonna go fucking insane. And you know what the craziest thing of all is? None of this matters to your life personally 99% of the time. It's like, just try this out. For just 1 month, try to avoid any news, any social media, whatever. Just go completely fucking ignorant for a whole month. And then at the end of that month, go and check how much shit happened in the news, how many trends, how many things happened on social media or whatever that you knew nothing about. And you'll be like, holy shit, like 1,000 fucking things happened, and none of it was fucking relevant to your life whatsoever. You were able to go day by day without ever knowing any of these things, and it made no difference at all. And if you had known about 90% of these things, you would have basically just felt miserable or sad or something like that, and it would have made otherwise zero fucking difference to your life. So the next time someone comes up to you and they're like, why aren't you into this thing? Why aren't you doing that thing? You say to them, hey, you know, right now I'm actually really into helping out kids with lupus who are also blind. Have you donated to that charity? And if they're like, oh, no, I haven't heard of that. And you say, yeah, exactly, you stupid piece of shit. Alright, that's it for this week, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope to join me here again next week, where I'm going to for sure 100% have a dope-ass new track for the game. For sure. For sheezy my kneesy. Keep my arms so wheezy. And I'll see you here again next week. Peace.